I have done a couple design moments for Chappell Roan's television appearances. They asked if I could make an apple bong, and I immediately said yes. But if I'm excited about something, I'll just say, like, I'll do it. I was actually on vacation at the time, so I actually drew out the apple on a napkin by the pool. I'm Maris Jones, and I create cinematic, nostalgic worlds in my Brooklyn studio. I just really been calling myself a world builder at this point. It encompasses all of the elements of what I do. I film, I act, I do set design, I do lighting, I build the set, I pick out my outfit, I do my makeup, I edit. I'm just doing it all and acting as a one-woman film crew at this point. Recently, I designed a set for Chappell Roan's SNL appearance. It was so exciting. This job really just reminds me of what being a creative's like. It's just having fun and exploring and expanding these different worlds.
Tour, take one, marker.
All right, so this is my living room. I really just wanted to make this space something that was a little bit cleaner and more curated than my studio because it's kind of crazy. Honestly, my studio is just down the street from my apartment, which is me making a compromise to not working in my apartment. A little pigeon monument with flamingos, of course, and this one has a little peg leg. Lost its leg, so my mom made a little peg leg for it. That's how you know your parents are artsy. She was like, oh yeah, I'll fix it. Stuck a toothpick in it. I was like, thanks, Mom. My parents are both artists. They honestly were upset if I didn't do artistic things. So I was submerged into art, like from day one. It was just my life. My dad shared with me so many things. He showed me this movie, the original Clash of the Titans from the 1980s. I was blown away by the effects. These mystical creatures were moving with animation, and I just wanted to know how to do that. My dad showed me how to do stop motion, and ever since then, I was carrying a video camera around. When I graduated college, social media was also really taking off. I was home for the summer, and I just decided to start creating social media content on Vine. And I realized that there was this place to freely create and make whatever I wanted to make, and I could reach an audience and maybe get my voice out that way. This is my brand new record setup that my dad just set up. One of the reasons why me and my partner got together was we love Paul Rodgers. If you don't know who Paul Rodgers is, he's awesome. I love classic rock music, so I also simultaneously was cutting out little paper heads of musicians and animating their mouths moving up and down with paper and watercolors. I realized if I had a concept in my head, I could create the prop out of computer paper, like just drawn with a Sharpie and watercolored. It got my concept across, which I think at the end of the day, it's about just like the creativity of the concept half the time. I love New York. After I graduated, I decided to move here to be close to my sister, and I got a job at a clothing store. And within literally a few weeks of moving here though, I went viral on Vine and I got signed to an agency, my first like little boutique agency, and I was making ads for brands like pretty fast. This was actually the first thing I ever did for like syndicated television. Was I shot an Above the Influence bullying campaign, and I got a letter from Obama. So this is Henry. This is the Brooks Brothers mascot. One day I opened my front door and Henry was sitting in the hallway with a note attached to it that said my name. He's stuck with us for life, sorry. If I'm excited about something, I'll just say, like, I'll do it. I have done a couple design moments for Chappell Roan's television appearances. They asked if I could make an apple bong, and I immediately said yes. But I was actually on vacation at the time, like for the first time as an adult. And so I didn't have like any of my like equipment with me. I didn't have like my iPad that I draw on. So I actually drew out the apple on a napkin by the pool. We got it done in a very short period of time. I got a bunch of people to help me, which was so phenomenal because we needed to create a big, large, round shape. And I do not have the space to shave down that much foam. We found some fabricators to help us create the shell, and the weed nuggets are made out of insulation foam spray that I just sprayed and painted them green. And I made the lighter, and I also had to figure out the smoke effects. It was just a fun little community of people creating this. My friends and I carried it up 4 flights of stairs and built it all out. We brought it there and no rehearsal, just went out, and it was just such a surreal, crazy moment. Just to like help that vision come like to fruition. It was such a unique experience. It was crazy. It wasn't always like this at all. I didn't have a studio. I was shooting in my house. So I was here in New York. I had 4 roommates. It was like a railroad and there was no windows, but we had like a kitchen, living room hybrid with like an empty wall. So while they're in school, like doing their work, I can just like move some furniture aside, go to the dollar store and buy those plastic tablecloths that are different colors. And I would just like pin them up on the kitchen wall, take like the table lamp, point it at wherever I was filming and make these little videos. I eventually moved again and me and my roommate next time decided instead of having like a living room, we would just make it an art space. So then I started to have a little bit more space. As time goes on, I added more things and I could afford more props. And then all of a sudden I was in a new studio in Brooklyn. I still am evolving and growing and it's just super cool to see how if you just stick to like what you love to do, the natural progression of it is just such a wild and cool experience. It's been about 18 months since I have moved into this apartment. I've had my own studio space separate from my living space. When I come home after a day of creating, I feel like this space is really like comforting in so many ways where I can like let go. It's also all the things that I love and make art about. This was actually a prototype for a prop guitar for a film I wrote that my dad made for me. It's very special and I will make this movie one day. Love fun curtains. I just wanted something that was not just gonna be safe. I love to go bold. I'd already gotten this crazy credenza over here. We saw this credenza online and we just were like, we have to have it. I will admit that my parents don't love 80s furniture at all. So it's also part of me is like a little bit rebelling, being like, yeah, I'm getting this furniture and I like it. And my mom's like, it's so not cute. And I'm like, it's not yours, it's fine. So crazy credenza, partially because of parents. I love this thing. This is so silly because it barely gives off any light, but I saw this at a vintage store and I love when things are just obnoxious and I had a marble base. I made my partner carry this all the way home and it's heavy. It's 100 pounds. My dad's artwork is on the wall. He actually was in the same studios as I was, which is actually how I found my studio space. I kind of took over that space. When he wasn't there, I would pay the rent. When we finally lived on our own, we were like, oh, we have the space for a dining room table. We just saw this at a vintage store and the base was just so cool. Honestly, this table to me symbolizes just having the space to actually have a dining room table, if that makes sense. I love that Brooklyn is quieter. There's a little bit more space, I think, in Brooklyn. Cool art spaces and studios are in this area. It's such a natural, easy place for me to be and I love it. I can't imagine myself ever leaving here. I've never felt so much at home. 2 years ago, an editor from Random House reached out who was just a fan of my work and said, you know, I really think you could create a really great book for people. Would you want to maybe come up with something? And I immediately was just like, I think I could be just really helpful in explaining how to like kind of be your unique self. It could be a tool to help people who want to get new ideas or who are just starting out. Just remind people that like you can be uniquely you and you have all the answers already. Creating doesn't have to be like this crazy, like obscure concept that's far away. Like if you have those incredible imaginations, those ideas and those visions, you can create anything you want. Or if you want help designing your living room, I could help you just relax to be yourself, you know, and I really just want to be able to share that. This is my book. Honestly, it's so surreal for it just to be within my space, you know, a part of my design. It is like a weird, surreal meta moment. I don't think I'll ever get used to that feeling, honestly. I'm very good at not thinking about the outcome of a scenario. I went for it. Then afterwards it's like, oh wow, I just wrote about my experience and it's very vulnerable. But I'm like, I did it. I had a unique experience and I hope that whatever I share with people just makes an impact in any way that they need it to. Because, you know, creating means the world to me and I think it means the world to so many people. Hopefully I finish this photo booth today before the party tomorrow.
I've seen you do stuff like this before, you get it done.
There's so many things going on for this book launch. I'm definitely down to the wire creating this photo booth. I said that it would be done on Saturday, but it's now Monday. I still definitely have like a little bit more to do. I think it's really exciting for people to just see these things in real space just because it's usually online or in photographs. So I'm working really hard to create this to make it like as magical as possible for people. And then there's like a lot of other administrative stuff that's happening simultaneously. So like promoting the book, you know, getting people excited. We'll see if I get it all done in time. I did it, finished it. It's gonna look sick. It's gonna be really cool.
Do you have any pictures?
Yeah.
That looks incredible. Also, the backdrop behind it looks amazing too.
I think so.
They're gonna love that.
Yeah. This party is just super Studio 54 and sparkly and amazing. It's just about people all coming together in a very specific time, creating all these amazing things and just letting go and dancing. I see this as like a sweet 16 almost. This book is all of my photo work. It's really just like a big celebration of what I've ended up building so far in the last like bunch of years that I've been doing this. It's just a super exciting thing to be able to share and celebrate with all these people that I've built this community around.
Welcome to Maris Jones's book launch!
I wrote out my speech, so I've always felt a bit behind, like everyone else knew more or was into the right things, but instead of letting that hold me back, I embraced it. When you put your heart into something, you gain more than what you've ever imagined. That's the magic of creativity. Diving in, learning and growing and letting things evolve. And now today, I'm launching my new book, Unlock Your Aesthetic.
Let's get this party started!
Congratulations on your book. This is huge. I'm so thankful. And also this wig is so good. Everything takes time, and it should take time because you can't possibly know everything all at once because you haven't experienced it yet. Understand that like you have a lot more time than you even realize. Life is going to continuously be a journey of exploration. We live in a time where there's just so many endless possibilities, and all the things you create are just stepping stones to learn one more thing about yourself. Trust your instincts, trust who you are, you can only be yourself.